Trauma-informed care is when a system, a program, or an organization understanding the impact of trauma on individuals designs its response to a not just directly address the trauma, but to understand how the way we talk to people, the way we provide service, the way we offer information may in fact need to be done slightly differently because of the way trauma affects the brain. And the fourth thing we try to do in a trauma-informed system is not re-traumatize individuals, victims, witnesses, caregivers, anyone else in the process of providing them information, support, or services. Well, the interesting thing about a trauma-informed approach is it's not so much what you do, but how you do it. So certainly we still have to do what we have to do. Law enforcement has to still investigate a crime. A case manager still has to ask questions about why do you need assistance? Why did you lose your job? What's important to understand is that trauma literally affects the brain in a way that shuts down our most advanced thinking and planning processes. So people are literally living at the level of survival when they experience trauma, especially repeated trauma. So instead of me just asking someone, well, why did you go to that place where a bad thing happened to you? I might say to them, can you help me understand how you ended up at the house that night? They therefore are given more time and opportunity and room to access their memory to answer that question, and they're not hearing a question that in some ways may sound like, I'm blaming you or I'm trying to figure out what you did wrong. I'm simply asking for information. Currently, we're working on the best way to do that, but currently the way we are approaching it is by offering them the best current research on literally the neurobiology of trauma, what happens to the human brain and system when we undergo trauma. And trauma can be everything from physical occurrences to overwhelming events that we don't have control over. Once we understand what happens to the brain and the rest of the body as a result of that experience, we can talk about ways to approach people so that we don't re-trigger that trauma. So we talk to investigators about changing the way you ask questions, as I just did, changing the why to a help me understand, to a I know this is hard for you to talk about, I appreciate that, what can I do to make this more comfortable for you? To understanding that somebody may feel uncomfortable sitting in a closed room with a locked door. So I ask them, where would you feel safest talking to me? And let them control that. They still have to talk to me, but whatever they can control, from where we do it, how we sit, who's with us, we want to give them that choice back. So we talk to investigators about all of these very simple ways where we can reframe the experience, give power back to people, and acknowledge that they've undergone something that has affected them in ways they may not even understand still. And then we tell investigators that's going to make your job easier once we give people that information and that permission and the understanding that we understand what they're going through. Yes, I would say that is true. Awareness. And often the shorthand I've used with investigators is imagine if it was you or someone you loved in this situation, how would you want to be approached? How would you want to be talked to? How would you want your mom to be talked to? How would you want your child to be approached? A lot of it is, for lack of a better, in ordinary, simple ways to understand. It's common courtesy and respect. And it's acknowledging, in this situation, I've got power, I'm the investigator, I'm the case manager, and I want to give you back as much power as possible, recognizing that and explicitly recognizing that.